So there's a strategy that is called SQ3R. And this is what we're going to use when we read. The S stands for scan. So that means we're going to actually look at the book and the pictures, and we're going to look at like the titles and things like that. So we're going to scan. And the Q stands for question. So once we look at the pictures, we're going to ask questions about the pictures. Or once we look at the title, we're going to just ask ourselves questions about it to see if it can help us understand. And the 3R, one stands for read, and then we're going to read. One stands for recite. That means when we read, we're going to actually talk about stuff that we read and say it again. And then the last one is review. So we're just going to go back and just kind of like check and make sure that we are doing what we need to do. Okay, so that's the one we're going to lead. And don't forget, we have our KWL chart. Remember that one? We only did the K, so we just have to do the other ones too. Oh, and since I only have one book, I want to show you something in my book before we read our handout. So let me show you, Ms. Hams. I'm just going to bring the book over here so you can get this. Okay. Ruby, if you want to, you can come over here so I can show you. Okay, so when we scan, and see this book, so I only have one, so I had to just give everybody a handout. So when we scan, we're going to look for the heading. So since this heading is really, really big, this is the actual heading. And then the other headings like Egypt and Libya, they're smaller, so they're called a subheading. Mm-hmm. And then we're gonna look at pictures. This is the Sahara Desert and things like that. So know that when I say we're gonna scan, those are the things we're gonna be looking for, okay? All right. All right, Jamie has agreed to read with me. I appreciate that, Jamie. All right, so y'all go to the handout, and it'll say North Africa, and it'll say Egypt. So this first page is about Egypt, and we're gonna highlight two.
Need highlighters?
They have one, but I need one. Thank you. So we're gonna highlight, so when you see our vocabulary words that we did, I want you to highlight that, and anything that you think is important, we're gonna highlight it. All right, so let's get started. Oh, Axel, Ruby, put your finger right here where it says much. Yeah.
I'll get it one time later.
Put your finger right there. Okay,
Here it
I'm
is.
gonna start right there.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Tienes que poner tu dedo en la primera letra y cuando pare tenemos que sonreír.
Okay. And look, Axel is highlighting, he's highlighting the first sentence. That's the one I highlighted. Highlight that first sentence. Much of North Africa is desert, and cultures have accepted to the desert way of life. They have adapted to the desert way of life. This section will look at some of the countries in North Africa. So now I'm on box number 2. Go to this one right here. It's Egypt. Hey, Ruby, put Ruby's hands where? Okay.
Good.
Is she on box number 2?
Mm-hmm. This one?
Here.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay. Egypt is a large country about the same size as Texas and New Mexico put together. Yet, most of it is desert. The lifeline of Egypt is the Nile River. Okay, guys, get your highlight. I want you to highlight Nile River and everything about it. Nile River, which supplies 85% of the country's water. So make sure y'all highlight where it says Nile River supplies 85% of the country's water. The Nile River flows 4,160 miles north to the Mediterranean Sea, making it the world's longest river. The river empties into the Mediterranean Sea at its delta. That's another vocab word, so we need to do delta. A delta is the area formed from soil deposited by the river at its mouth. Very good, Ruby. Okay, good. Okay, so Jamie, the next one, Jamie has box number 3, guys.
About 29% of Egypt people work in agriculture. Important crops include sugarcane, grains, vegetables, fruits, and cattle. Egypt's government is a constitutional monarchy
Good job.
in his form of government. A king or queen is a head of state, but he elected officials runs the government.
Very good. You know, switch over to the W right quick. Remember this little thingy right here? Switch over to this right quick. I forgot to make us do the questions.
Oh, no.
Excellent. Excellent. I told you to be nice to you. Okay, do me a favor right quick. For the what do I want to learn? Let's write like a couple of questions. I'm gonna say, where is Egypt? Do it in a W part right quick. We're just gonna write like a question, yeah, like that. And then we're gonna write one more question about Libya too.
Good job.
Give me a question about Libya. Go to that page right here. And ask me a question about Libya. What kind of question can I have about Libya?
When does Libya get water?
Oh, okay, good. Okay, and for Libya question, we're gonna write, where does Libya get water from?
On the W?
Yeah, on a W. We should have done this before we started reading. Okay, very good. Okay, that's it. Okay, Libya.
Libya is a desert with only a few oases. An oasis is a green area in a desert fed by underground water. In fact, the Sahara covers more than 90% in Libya.
Very good. Well, she just said a vocabulary word. Jamie just said a vocabulary. It was the oasis. Make sure you highlight in box number 1 on Libya's side. Highlight where it says an oasis is a green area in a desert fed by underground water.
Can I also highlight Sahara?
Yeah. Okay. All right, so the next one, this is the last paragraph. Libya's government. In 1969, a military officer named Muammar al-Khalifa, all right, I'm gonna say that.
Gaddafi.
Thank you, Gaddafi. He gained power and overthrew the king. Gaddafi is a dictator. That's another vocabulary word, y'all. Highlight that. We're in box 2. Gaddafi is a dictator or an all-powerful leader. For many years, the United States and other democratic nations have accused Gaddafi of encouraging terrorism against the United States and its citizens. The U.S. eventually arrested a Libyan who bombed one of the Pan American flights in 103 in 1988. So that means that this guy here, he is a dictator. So he runs Libya by scaring people, and that's how he makes them, he controls them. And they are known for being terrorists, which is just going around scaring people. All right, y'all, that is all of the story. Now we have to do the last part of the KWL. So we basically have to say what we learned. All right.
I know.
Okay, so let me get, all right. So go to your KWL chart and go to the L part, because we're gonna write, what did we learn? All right. Okay, so Jamie, give me something that we highlighted that we learned.
That Nile River.
Yes, the Nile River.
The Nile River, it has 85% of country water.
Yes, has 85%. Is that Egypt or Libya? That's Egypt,
Yeah.
Egypt's water. Yeah, that is something I did not know. So that was Egypt. Let's go to Libya and see what we learned about Libya. Go to the Libya page. Libya. Yes. Alrighty, guys. The last thing we gotta do is review. I'm gonna see how much you guys remember.
Okay. Do we need?
Ruby goes first.
Mommy.
Yeah, Ruby. Come here, Ruby. I'm gonna show you something. Come on. Come here, I'm gonna show you. Okay,
Okay.
let me give you a marker. You got a marker? Okay, good. Okay, she's gonna write something on the map. I don't know. It could be Libya, it could be Egypt, it could be the Sahara Desert, it could be the Nile River. She's gonna write something on the map that she remembers. She's going with the Nile River.
Yes. Yes.
She's doing the Nile River.
Woohoo!
She did it.
Woohoo!
All right, so she wrote
yes.
the Nile River. Yay!
Yay.
All right, pass the marker to somebody.
Me? Oh,
Ah.
Okay, y'all, and let me tell y'all stuff that y'all can write. I should have put a key up here. We have Egypt, Libya, the Nile River, and the Sahara Desert. Those are things that you guys can label on the map. Y'all have to figure out. All right, so Jamie, what are you going to label?
Libya?
Okay.
Here?
Oh, Ruby knows. Where's Libya, Ruby?
On top?
Uh-huh.
Here.
Yes.
So we just
Okay.
put it like this.
And then, yeah,
And then flip it?
yes. All right, so Jamie found Libya.
L-Y. I'm sorry. L-I.
B.
Y-A.
All right, Axel is going to draw something. So we already did Libya, we already did the Nile. Let's see what Axel is going to draw.
Mm.
Awesome. He is drawing Egypt. Way to go, Axel. So we've drawn Egypt, we've drawn Libya. Give the marker to somebody. Okay, so we've drawn Egypt, we've drawn Libya, we've drawn the Nile. We have to draw the Sahara Desert. So we have to figure out where that is.
You remember.
Yes, she does. I can tell. Yep. She did it. You guys are amazing. You did it. You are done with this lesson.
Wait, don't we need Nile?
Yeah.
You need to write it?
Ruby did Nile right here.
But she didn't write it. Yeah. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, she did the Nile. So we have all of it.